valued at over 1.8 billion naira, were destroyed in the Kuje area of the Federal Capital Territory. Professor Ndlea describes the proliferation of counterfeit and unsafe products as a major threat to public safety and national security, adding that the exercise reflects NAFDAC's resolve to permanently remove dangerous products from circulation and prevent them from finding their way back into the market.
Wonder shall never end. In Nigeria, drug agency busted the largest meth lab in Ogun State. Oh my God, come and see what is happening in Nigeria. There are some areas in Nigeria that you will go, you will see that they are doing a lot of bad things over there. This agency of drug people, they have been monitoring this place for a very long time. Come and see in our Rise News where Okpe dropped the message and see for yourself what is happening. They arrested many Nigerians and many Indians, white people that are there, following them doing all such business there. Come and see for yourself and have a very good, nice day.
In a shocking new report, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency revealed on Wednesday that they just took down the largest meth lab ever discovered in Nigeria, run by a Nigerian and Mexican drug cartel. The spokesman for the Ndlea, Femi Babafemi, released a video showing the moment the Nigerian and Mexican cartel members were busted. Let's take a look. Well, kudos to the Ndlea. Well, a meth lab in a remote forest in Ijebu, Ogun State. Sorry. Run by Nigerians and Mexicans. This isn't small time. This is the largest meth operation ever discovered in Nigeria. The Ndlea says they spent months gathering intelligence before the raid. They didn't just hit the lab. They also arrested Anochili Innocent, the alleged mastermind, at his home in Lakawe. International drug cartels setting up shop in Nigeria forests. That's the reality at this point. This major drug bust comes as the commander of the United States Africa Command, General Dagvin Anderson, made a shocking revelation that a 35-ton shipment of cocaine from South America, valued at $1 billion, was caught on its way to West Africa. Speaking on Tuesday before the Armed Services Committee, he went on to state that terrorists are also using drug trafficking to make money to run their operation. Let's take a look.
There was an interdiction based on some intelligence that we were able to provide that the Spanish interdicted a shipment of cocaine that was 35 tons of cocaine. We believe that's about $1 billion of street value. We believe that's the largest interdiction in history. That came out of South America. It was transiting along the west coast of Africa. And so we're seeing more of that drug trafficking coming in, and the terrorist organizations are helping transit that. They're getting payments through that, and there's a symbiotic relationship that money then comes back to our hemisphere, to those drug cartels, but also helps provide fuel for those terrorists. Another area that I think is important to highlight is that in the last 18 to 24 months, we have assisted in, or at least tipped off many partner nations to drug activities and labs in their country. In this time, 11 of the 12 drug labs that have been interdicted have had Mexican cartel members on site.
Bimbai, these comments come on the heels of America's growing presence here in Nigeria in a bid to confront insecurity alongside the Nigerian government. But these revelations about the billion-dollar drug trade between South America and West Africa shed light into how sophisticated these networks have become. And you know, that first video that I, highlighted in Ijebu, Ode, Ogun State. Yes, it was.
Because there's plenty
Ijebus. I didn't hear Ijebu. It's not my own. Okay, so I should be looking at you. Mexicans and Nigerians. This was so huge. Everybody, I'd love your comments. Again, kudos to the NDLEA, but I'd like for you to tie it in with, of course, the revelation.
This is not the foreign direct investment we want in Ogun State.
This is a very serious issue.
Yes,
this is a very serious issue. I mean, OJ, I was in awe. I think I watched the video twice or three times because I couldn't understand the magnitude of this operation. 500 billion naira worth of industrial drug making happening in a forest in Ogun State. Just put that mentally, just try and calculate that. You know, I'm a big fan of the Netflix series Narcos, you know, when they document Pablo Escobar and all of those narcos, you know, heavy hitters from South America. And the way they move money and the way they do, this looked a lot like, I'm sorry to stereotype, it looked a lot like a scene out of Colombia. And you ask yourself, how did we get to this point where, because 480 billions worth of transaction is not money you can just hide. It's not money you can move in duffel bags. It's not money, it's going through the system. Where is it going? And now I love the link with this conversation around South American links to West Africa with regards to terrorism funding and so forth, because it validates the argument that's constantly being made around the ideology of a lot of these terrorist movements is that they're trying to get to the Atlantic. What happens when they get to the Atlantic? They have easy access to be able to traffic not just drugs but also weapons and human beings. So we're really in a very, very dangerous precipice here when they've been allowed to grow to this huge scale of production. There's also distribution. This implicates a lot of agencies and a lot of institutions because you can't just do this in a bubble alone. So congratulations, kudos to Ndlea, because this is a very significant bust when you read the details around how there was surveillance and then how they were able to capture these guys and so forth. Fantastic move. But you know, yesterday we'd highlighted mining, and like Rufai rightfully said, that mining has been going on for a long time, but it was never hijacked by terrorist activity in the way we're seeing now. Now we ask ourselves, what other illegal and illicit trade is happening to fuel and fund terrorism? The president spoke at was represented by the former governor of Ogun State, Chief Oshoba, yesterday at an ADECO event. And Chief Oshoba was saying that, oh, the president said I should tell you that insecurity is being fueled by people who are unhappy that he removed subsidy and people who are unhappy about exchange rate and so forth. And I just say to myself that it seems that there's a profile around what we've said are the people fueling insecurity. Because when you also listen to the words of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, I'll round up now, who says that, oh, it's by our opposition. And so it seems they know the people behind this thing, because you can't tell me that this magnitude of operation existed. God knows what the money is being used for, and we don't know who's behind it.
And God knows where else they could be operating.
What other forests where they're hiding? With foreign nationals.
But, you know, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Oji, I know we have to go to the next slide, but please, I'm afraid, because I don't know if people are saying what I'm scared for this country. With this kind of magnitude of drug, Oji, these drug cartels will form their militia.
Yes.
We don't know who they are connected to, maybe Sinaloa or any cartel. We don't know who their exit ecosystem busts are, people that are taking the drugs out. We don't know who their local collaborators are. So Ndlea, kudos, but the job is not complete. We don't know where the ties. Oji, there is no how that a 480 billion, which is a sizable part of this nation's economy, something like this is happening, and there are no big backers. If we can't track that, then just imagine when they now start to bring in weapons and they form territory around that area. We are dealing with insecurity on one hand, kidnapping. Then we are dealing with drugs. Then when you now start having scenarios where the perpetrators of this crime, the kidnappers, start to mix and form local militias for these people, and they start to act as fronts.
Problem.
See what is happening in Mexico.
Yeah.
The drug cartel, they have proper ammunition when they fight the government.
All right.
They can't even suppress them. See what is happening in the favelas in Brazil. Oji, I am super scared for this country. Add drugs to the cocktail is on steroids. Mining and all of that, blood diamonds, that's one of them. Blood minerals, you're not adding drug of this magnitude to the cocktail.
It's a scary situation.
It is
and
scary.
Thanks for raising that awareness. It is a cocktail for disaster at this moment. Well, thank you to the Ndlea. We need more wins.